We talked about the camos. Now I've had people asking what I'm thinking about all the progression-related features in this game. We talked about it before launch after all. Now the game's been out for a while, I've got a good feel for everything. So sounds good. Rambling about progression is kinda my thing. I have things I like and things I don't. It isn't like I have an agenda to push, just gonna say what I think. With the things I'm not a fan of, I'll have some constructive ideas for how I think things could be improved for future seasons of the game. I'm calling right now Season 0. We're in a weird pre-season period of the game. They said the actual first season will kick off in December with the battle pass and some more maps, stuff to earn, who knows what else. And that kind of sets the tone for how I feel about what we have right now. Progression-wise, I get a feeling of incompleteness. Not even like it was rushed, but like there are parts of the game that would make everything make more sense that are being held back, just waiting for the season to actually start. Like how classic Special Ops felt majorly held back. But in multiplayer, the biggest example of that to me is XP. Modern Warfare has an XP problem. That might even be in the title. What I mean by that is there are so many things that award XP for doing them, and maybe with an actual season there will be more diversity in what they can give as rewards, but for now, a whole lot of XP for doing a lot of things, yet for some reason they capped the level at 155, making that reward mean literally nothing to tons of people, or worse than nothing because it gives you the feeling of wasting it. You get XP from obviously regular gameplay, co-op operations as well, they gave that XP a huge buff. You get XP from every step of challenge missions, from every ribbon challenge, from the daily challenges, only one of your dailies gives some sort of loot item as well. Do camo challenges give XP too? I actually don't know, but probably. And now they finally re-added trials. That's a huge source for XP. I went into this first trial completely blind. Don't judge me too harshly. I needed to learn the course on my first run through. Anyway, you can also double your trials XP by activating a double XP token, by the way. So a great time to use one of those. You can easily knock out a few dozen officer levels in half an hour. It's just funny that they took out trials because there was a bug where it didn't award XP, and now they finally bring it back, but now a bunch of people are at 155, so it's basically the same thing. There's no reward at all for those people for doing the trials. And it's a shame because I think these are really fun to play. Like, I'd enjoy playing them without there being any reward incentive. If they were a part of classic Special Ops, for example, like it feels they should be, I'd love to be getting all 3 stars, going for high scores, competing with friends on the leaderboard, all those things that they promised for Special Ops. It's just so weird when they introduce this ticket economy where you get the tickets in the officer ranks, meaning you get them when you're already getting kind of close to maxing, then you spend them to get even more XP that you really don't need, and that ticket economy makes it so that a bunch of people like me who are at max rank are thinking, should I not use my tickets? Do these carry over to the next season? Because it just feels like I'm wasting them if I use them now, even though I kind of do want to play the trials, and I don't think we have an answer on that yet. It feels like the trials should be awarding something else, not XP. Like rare weapon blueprints and other loot for getting 3 stars. Or an even better idea, to have replayability. What if there were only a chance of a unique rare weapon blueprint dropping from each trial? What if you kept ranking up after 155, and every 5 ranks or so you got another trials ticket that you could use to take on any trial of your choosing in that season, and every time you get 3 stars on one, there's a 5% chance of a special rare gun blueprint dropping from that trial. Like for the AX50 trial, you get 3 stars on it, you could earn the epic rare AX50 blueprint from that. That sounds like a fun thing to hunt, to me. The same type of thing I thought would have been cool if they had in co-op operations to give those replayability. Imagine if there was a loot pool of stuff you could get for beating every operation. Wow, instant replayability. Because I do like the concept of getting a lucky item in ways that aren't supply drop slot machines with filler garbage and game-changing content locked behind RNG. With this idea, you would know which trial awards which cosmetics. It's something you can grind for. It is fun to get lucky, I've never denied that, to get something cool that other people don't have. Or, different idea, what if there were an alternate currency in the game to be earning? Because I feel like that would be a major improvement. The armory credit, salvage type of thing. Even in the wonderful world of no more supply drops, I think a currency like that would still be useful and fun to collect. Because I'm sure they'll be adding things to the shop when the season kicks off, and it would be cool if they had some things you have to spend money on if you want them, obviously, but some other things you could buy with the credits you've been earning. Or you could redeem those credits you've earned from various sources to buy double XP tokens and weapon XP tokens, more importantly. Or maybe you could choose to buy more trials tickets with those credits to go in for those rare loot drops. I just really like the idea of having something other than XP to earn because of how insultingly pointless it is, especially with the level cap. Like, you earned 10,000 XP. Thanks. Yeah, thank you so much. Well, I didn't actually get anything because I'm at the cap, but thanks. I could spitball these ideas for days, I don't know how viable they are, but this is what I mean by things feeling incomplete progression-wise. It feels like there's something missing. There should be something else to earn other than XP. Because I don't want to be thinking, should I be doing these mission challenges now or waiting until later? Because I'm wasting the XP. And same for the daily challenges being pointless. I like to go for the one that rewards an actual loot item, but the ones for XP, why would you ever do them? Even when I still needed XP, they didn't seem worth it, ever, because I'd rather just get XP the normal way and not have to do some awkward challenge, when there's no record of me doing it after, because XP isn't in limited supply. Compare that to COD World War II, when you did challenges for armory credits. Well damn, I had a streak that lasted months and months of completing literally every challenge possible every single day. These dailies don't give that incentive at all. The ribbon challenges giving XP too, what's the point? They just artificially speed up the leveling grind, and then you're probably going to end up completing many of them after you're at the cap. So it just seems strange seeing all these XP rewards everywhere. Give me some kind of currency I can put into something of my choosing. But putting all those ideas aside, at bare minimum, just uncap the level. I really don't understand why they decided to cap it. It doesn't take that long to reach 155. You might say, well, that isn't fair to say, Sour. I'm not 155. You just have no life. Okay, fair point, but I really haven't no-lifed this game. I feel like I was pretty slow to reach 155, judging by my peers. Like, my time played I'm showing now isn't even an accurate 1 to 55, because I've been max for a little while now. Call it more like 2 days of playtime to reach 155, and I didn't even use any double XP or any trials, and the game's been out for about 3 weeks, so like 2 to 3 hours a day of playtime, which you could cut down further if you did use those things like double XP and trials. I'm sure that amount of playtime is more than the average, but that's well within what any COD fan with school or a full-time job might be playing. And there's still several more weeks left in this pre-season period for everyone in the 155 club to stare at a wall. Well, let me correct myself there. It isn't that there's nothing to do. There's still plenty of weapon grind in the game, for example. It's more about the feeling of waste. Like, I'm at a cap. Should I not even grind these now? Should I wait for the season for my XP to mean something? For the record, I'm not saying 155 should take longer. I think it's good that you can get there fairly quickly to unlock all the ribbon challenges. I don't think that process should take painfully long, because honestly, I think the season challenges should just be unlocked as soon as you hit 55. So automatically at the beginning of every season. So I was pleasantly surprised by the speed of the officer ranks. If you aren't there yet, don't be picturing them like master prestige ranks where every rank takes as much XP as level 55 did. They go by a lot faster than that, and I liked that. But you should absolutely be able to keep ranking up past 155. I really think they need to change that. I'm not even asking for them to add more things to unlock after 155, or even for the name and emblem of my rank to change. Not at all. I just think they should make it so that the number keeps going up. I would think that's a very simple design decision that shouldn't take any extra development effort, and I think it's the simplest thing they could do to make a big improvement. Because with the way it is now, I see a lot of bring back prestiging, that was better. And I would have to agree. The regular old prestiging is better than this, even though I'm not someone who's married to the idea of classic prestiging and that resetting grind, doing that all again just like every year. I totally had my mind open to this new system, and I might actually like this more if the level were just uncapped. But with the cap, not a fan at all, because it's an equalizer. If me and someone who's been playing 12 hours a day every day since launch and are really good at the game are in a pre-game lobby, nobody can tell, because we're both 155. And I think that's flat out dumb. People should be able to show off how much they've played at a glance, and your level has always been the best way to do that. I thought that's how it was going to be. The blog post about progression that they put out before launch didn't indicate anything one way or the other about having a level cap or not. Of course, they talked about the 100 ribbon challenges you would earn up to level 155, but they also said that any officer rank, challenge ribbon, or seasonal emblem are permanently recorded in the game. To me, I read that and thought, okay, so they get it. They know that people want to grind XP. You can keep ranking up as long as you want in the season, and at the end, that gets recorded to give the XP grinders something to shoot for, something to differentiate themselves. Because I think that's the core of what's important. I could be wrong there. I'm sure some people just really enjoy the resetting element of prestiging and the art for the 10 prestige emblems. We kind of get that in the form of the seasonal emblems. If you miss prestiging, I'm sorry, they're clearly not going to be bringing it back for this game. So I'm trying to think along the lines of possible solutions, and I think just being able to show off how hard you've grinded is the biggest part. So if you reach level 753 in Season 0, and wow, you're insane, dude, and that would be permanently recorded on your profile that you did that. But nope, we're just gonna have a big pile-up collision at level 155, apparently. Well, that was a lot of talking about XP. I haven't even gotten to talking about the challenges and other things. Bottom line about XP, I think levels should clearly be uncapped. People like to show off how much they've played, simple as that. And people might still have thoughts of wanting to save XP for the next season, but at least it doesn't feel like it's worth literally nothing. At least you're still ranking up, and that gets permanently recorded in the game. That seems like the most basic solution to me, uncap the levels. It'd be cool to see some other stuff like the ideas I was throwing around, getting a currency, you can choose some weapon XP or some trials tickets, but that's obviously more of a stretch. I'm looking forward to seeing what will come when the season actually kicks off. Either it'll be underwhelming, like just a battle pass where you get some stuff through time played, that would be boring, or suddenly everything will make sense and there will be more of a reason to play trials or earn XP, or this XP is just a placeholder for something that they're going to add and they're just holding it back. Okay, gonna move on from XP. What about the ribbon challenges themselves? This is the closest thing we have in the game to a replacement for the standard challenges, the 100%er. Some things like Snack Attack are familiar for lethal double kills. It's a random collection of 100 things for you to do in order to essentially 100% the season. I came in with a completely open mind, and yeah, overall, gotta say, I do prefer the old 100%er system. That said, I don't hate the concept of seasonal challenges. With a few changes, I think it would be a pretty fun thing to look forward to each season. I've seen some people say that this is a pure downgrade, that there's literally nothing better about this than what we had before, where you just had all the challenges unlocked right away and you could go at it. Well, at this very moment, those people are right. This is purely a downgrade. The only potential upside of this new system is the fact that they're seasonal, and there will be several batches of challenges in an attempt to keep things fresh. It feels like I'm playing devil's advocate here, because I'm not a huge fan of what we have right now, just saying that I don't think the concept of seasonal challenges is terrible, and I would enjoy these with a few changes. So what would those be? Well, I already said earlier, I think they should just be unlocked from the start of the season. You reset down to level 55, and okay, boom, you have all the challenges. I think the gimmick of getting them one at a time is more pointless than anything. The ranks are pretty quick, so you keep unlocking more pretty rapidly, and some challenges overlap, like get 15 Semtex sticks, and then get some more Semtex kills later on. Or get 75 launcher kills with Amped now, and then later, get 50 more launcher kills. So it makes me just want to get to the end and then look back at the challenges and worry about them later. Why would I bother changing my playstyle in awkward ways before I have all the challenges available? Well, I could be doing them for the XP bonuses, but that isn't a very big deal. So there's really no reason to spread them out like this. I think all it accomplishes is mild frustration. So I think you should get a set of 100 season challenges at the start of every season. That way they could be organized better. A big problem I have with these is how scattered they are. In the olden days, I could go to the kill streak challenges and know all the kill streaks I still had to be using. Same for perks, lethals, guns, whatever. I could go through the categories and work on everything efficiently, working towards mastering everything in the game, just like what you do with weapon mastery for the camo. With this, if I want to know, what field upgrade should I be using to work on a challenge? I have to look through every challenge to find one. And what kill streak should I be using? Well, gotta look through every challenge to find one. Also, when you finish a challenge, it doesn't pop up or anything, so you never know. Do I still need to be using the trophy system? Or my bad, the trophy system? Or am I done with it? I gotta check. Oh, well, I forgot where that challenge was, so I gotta look through and find it and see if I'm done or not. It's a mess, is my point. If they were all unlocked from the beginning, then they could be sorted into proper categories, and I'd be very happy. Other possible solutions for the mess problem would be a filter, any kind of organization system, even if they weren't unlocked from the beginning. Maybe having these ribbon colors actually mean something, like red means weapon, blue means equipment, have them in rows, but that's getting complicated. At the very least, I'd love to be able to choose maybe 3 challenges at a time to be tracking on that challenge tracker that shows up in-game when you hit escape, along with your mission and your dailies. So I can come in here and say, all right, I'm going to work on the airstrike, the chopper gunner, and the trophy system. So I'm going to click on them all and add them to my tracked challenges list so I can check them in game and know when I'm done and I can move on. Any of those changes would be a major improvement. Moving on from organization though, another thing they could do if everything were just unlocked from the beginning is make them a bit harder, or maybe I just mean better. Now they have to be careful, they can't be too hard and they can't be too easy. That's the most limiting part of the seasonal challenge thing compared to a permanent 100%er system. With the seasonal thing, make it too hard and way too many people are upset that it's just impossible to finish the 100% in the time that they have. Not that everyone is entitled to finish it, but I hope you can understand why too hard would be bad. But too easy, and there's absolutely no valor in reaching it. Nothing at all for the hardcore grinders to show off or do after the first couple weeks of a season. I'd call that the biggest strength of the standard 100%. It is something you can work towards no matter how long it'll take you, how much time you have to put into it. You can get there eventually. In this game, the only thing really like that is the camo mastery. At least there is that to shoot for, and take as long as you like. Also, you do get a new emblem every 10 ribbons. It isn't like if you don't reach 100%, you get nothing at all to show for your time. But of course, the animated emblem is the prize, and it would suck to be getting close to it and have that taken away because the season ended. That's another thing. When they said you got an emblem for doing these, I assumed, like most people did, that you'd be able to equip the emblem on your calling card, or even better in my opinion, it should become your prestige emblem. Like replace the 5-star general as your rank emblem for that season, right? Since these seasonal emblems are basically the replacement for prestige emblems. I haven't heard any info on that, but I'm guessing we will get the emblem to equip to our calling card, but only at the end of the season? Which kinda sucks. Like, you should be able to show off how quickly you got the 100% within each season. Plenty of people are gonna have it by the end of the season. Anyway, don't know what they're doing with these emblems, but they did say it would be permanently recorded, but we don't know how yet. And I mean, worth noting that nobody has the animated emblem yet, as far as I know, because doing work is bugged. Maybe when that gets fixed, we'll see that you do get the emblem right away. But back to them being able to make them a bit harder if they were all unlocked from the start. Because this is what my ribbon challenges look like when I really wasn't hunting them. I was playing normally up to rank 155, picking out a couple to complete along the way, but nothing major, and I feel like I'm almost done. It's cool for some challenges to complete themselves, but if I'm at like 75% without feeling like I put in any effort, what was even the point? They may as well have not existed. That is a problem to me. They aren't challenges if they all just happen. It's totally fine for some of them to be like that, but I think more emphasis should be put on using different weapons, playing different game modes, completing objectives in different game modes, using kill streaks, perks, equipment, all that standard 100%er game mastery stuff, forcing you to vary it up. Otherwise, there's no challenge to it, if you're just allowed to do whatever you wanted to do. And there are a few challenges like that now. It sucks in some cases they picked, like, goddamn claymores of all things to get 80 kills with. It'd be great if they used the power of the challenges to force people to not be assholes instead of the opposite. But getting 80 kills with a lethal would be an example of a good challenge to me. But there are way too many other ones that are either brain dead easy or things that overlap, like those launcher kills. And it's funny, some of the challenges that actually sound like they would be a challenge, like getting 15 Semtex sticks and getting 75 kills with enemy weapons, the executions. I like those challenges, but those were all things that seemed to be phantom tracking. I completed them all without ever doing those things. There's a lot of that in this game. So, summary of these, I may miss the 100%er, but I don't hate the idea of seasonal challenges. When done right, it could be something cool to look forward to, with every new season filled with maps and events and new loot and whatever. But I'd like it if they were just unlocked from the start, make it so that one of the 100 challenges requires you to reach rank 155, that'd be cool. And that way, if you have them all on day one of the season, they could afford to make them a bit bigger and smarter of a grind. Have them be things that you actually have to look at and consciously do and are fun to do instead of completing 70% naturally on your way up and then going back to fill in a few gaps. And they could also be a lot better organized. That would be much appreciated. I'm contemplating if I should be doing any sort of guide for these ribbon challenges, like it would be one video for the whole thing. I don't know if that would be very helpful. Maybe let me know if you want any of these challenges talked about and I can look into them. Otherwise, these seem fairly straightforward when they aren't bugged. Onwards to the other challenge thing in the game, mission challenges. These are something I actually really like. I don't have any suggestions here, aside from all the bugs. Assuming they're working properly, I think they're really good. I've seen a fair number of people say it's dumb that you have to select one at a time, right? Wouldn't it be nice if they were all active all the time? I mean, that's basically what I was saying about the ribbon challenges, with wanting them to be unlocked from the start. And yet when it comes to these, I actually think it's better that you have to select one. You might say, oh, well, they're just artificially extending the grind. Well, yeah. And if I were viewing these as the replacement for 100%er, then I might be more upset about that because there aren't that many missions. But I view the ribbons as the replacement for that, and I think that part of the game is lacking. But these missions I think of as their own thing, mainly because of the fact that this is how we earn new weapon variants, or blueprints I should be calling them, which I'd say are the coolest things to earn in the game, right? I'm sure there will be some in the battle pass and some in the store, but these missions are currently the main method to earn blueprints, along with the other loot along the way, some of which might interest you. So of course they want to extend that grind, and I think it should be that way. If you earned them all right off the bat because you could multitask all the challenges down, completing them all in the background, a bunch of things like play 1 game, play 3 games, these are challenges that are designed to be done one at a time. Doing them all at once would make the rewards feel much less valuable. I like that you can see a reward you want, and you choose to work towards it, like how I wanted that dog charm right off the bat. And I like the feeling of being on a mission. They are literally mission challenges after all, and I like going into a game knowing that right now I need to get 25 frag kills. That is my mission, and I care way more about working towards that than doing some ribbon. I enjoy the fact that it's one thing to focus on at a time, because I know there is a meaningful reward at the end of it, being being a weapon blueprint or whatever you wanted to get. And you can go through every mission, checking them off one by one. They said they'd be adding more every season. So I get where you're coming from if you don't like how you have to pick one because, oh no, I just got a quad feed and I didn't have the quad feed challenge equipped yet. I get it, but I actually like this system for mission challenges. It puts you on a mission, and the rewards are worth it to me. We're getting towards the end here, a couple more bullet points. Daily challenges are another thing that I sort of mentioned in the XP talk. They just don't feel worth doing because I don't need the XP for anything. Even before I was at max, I felt that way. Now it's literally worth nothing. I sometimes like doing the one for the loot item because I like having permanent proof of the fact that I did that challenge in my collections. I'm assuming there's a limited number of dailies that give loot like that, so when I do them all, they'll stop showing up. But, I mean, if the dailies gave you some other in-game currency that you could spend in the store, or on weapon XP boosters, or trials tickets that could be used to farm for cool loot, all that stuff I already said before, I'd be straight up addicted to logging on every day. As it stands, I don't care about them at all, and that kinda sucks. Finally, there's camos and weapon progression, which is really the biggest grind in this game, the leveling for the attachments and all the tons of camos. It is the big permanent goal to shoot for. Thankfully, I already had that big video talking about all the camo challenges, or we could be here for another 20 minutes. To add some overall thoughts that I didn't share in that video, like how about the fact that we have weapon XP replacing the usual headshots? I could go both ways on that. I kind of miss the feeling of every headshot helping with that camo progress. I wish headshots awarded 1.5 times more weapon XP or something like that, because it's fun to have more control over the speed at which you can make progress. It already seems like you get 100 or 150 weapon XP randomly. Well, the 150 should be tied to headshots instead of seeming to be random. Going from headshots to just using the weapon is kind of like taking one step closer to how it was just playtime being used in the Battle Pass progression like in Black Ops 4. And that's boring, because it doesn't matter how well you play, you just have to exist to make progress. Obviously, that isn't the case here. The better you play with the weapon, the faster you'll go, which is good. That's why I said it was like one step closer. Weapon XP is totally fine with me, and maybe it's better in that it doesn't force people to feel like they should be playing hardcore to be more efficient. I do like all the camo designs. The 10 camos in each category are pretty neat. Gotta give them credit, because they aren't lazy recolors, which I expected. I thought there would be the base camo and then 10 hue shifts of the same thing, but nope, every camo is unique. They just follow the same theme. I also like that it is a big grind. I'm down for that, but of course, like I talked about in that other video, I feel like they stretched a bit far to come up with unique challenges and didn't do a perfect job of that, which ended up taking away from the fun of the hunt rather than adding to it in some cases. If you watched that video, you know the challenges I'm referring to, but with a few adjustments to the problem challenges, it could be a camo system I absolutely love. Especially if the camo unlock order had been platinum, Damascus, and then gold to line up with how cool they look, but I'll live. So there's an overall camo take, and I think that's everything I wanted to discuss when it comes to the progression in this game for Season 0. I definitely miss the rush of starting out with a big new challenge system to get through, going for that 100%er. There still is the camo grind, though, to be the long-term goal, and I enjoy the missions. The ribbons could be cool with some adjustments. They kind of suck right now, but when we start seeing new seasons, things might start to look a little better. I'll say it again, it'll be interesting to see how things change in Season 1. Then I'll know if this felt incomplete because they were holding things back for the season, or if it's just going to keep feeling a little incomplete. I'd love to know what you think as well. Just kidding, only comment if you agree with me, because my opinion is the only correct one. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.